judge overseeing a legal battle between actress Blake Lively and director Justin Baldoni has threatened to move up their trial date if the war of words they are conducting via the media doesn't.
Justin allegedly got his hands on some explicit tapes that could destroy Blake's marriage to Ryan. Sources are saying these tapes might hold serious secrets about Blake and Justin's complicated relationship, one that could send shock waves through Hollywood. So what's really going down behind the scenes? Is this all just a publicity stunt, or is Justin about to drop a bombshell that could change everything? So let's start with the crazy part. We're finally getting a peek at text messages and voice memos that weren't in the lawsuit. These didn't come from the legal files, but they're leaked, and it's revealing some major secrets about Blake and Justin's relationship, and it's about to blow your mind. And don't even get me started on the footage from the movie set where Blake basically contradicts everything she said in her complaint. All of this is going to be saved for the trial, and honestly, Blake could be headed down the same road as Amber Heard. But it gets wilder. Apparently, Blake used Taylor Swift and Ryan to pressure Justin and Sony Pictures, threatening that if they didn't hand over the film to her, she'd pull all her celebrity power and support, meaning no promotion from her hundreds of millions of followers. Yeah, things definitely backfired for her on this one.
Will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I am a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize. Then find my way back to center.
All right. So here's the full story. Colleen Hoover, the author of the book, sold the movie rights to Justin in 2019, and she was actually the one who suggested he play Ryle. On top of that, they were friends, and Colleen was super involved in the script, even promoting the movie with Justin after all the alleged harassment went down. Talk about awkward. And right now, here's where it gets a little spicy. After Blake dropped her lawsuit, Colleen hopped on Instagram to show her support for Blake. But hold up, this came after the interview you just saw. Things got really messy when Blake wasn't allowed to edit the movie the way she wanted, and that's when she was like, if I can't do it my way, I'm not promoting this film. But y'all, I think I finally figured out what's going on here. Why all this drama? Why are they trying to push Justin out? Here's the tea. Justin was constantly praising Blake's talent, always complimenting her in interviews and promoting the film together. It's honestly impressive considering everything that happened, but here's the kicker. Jake blocked him out of the whole movie, completely controlled it, admitted it, and then turned Colleen against him. And throughout all this, Judith never complained or ever said a bad word about her publicly. Meanwhile, they don't have a single positive thing to say about him, even though their text messages show that she was always thanking him and acknowledging his talent and effort. She made an effort. I make decisions about the film at the start. So much start. Love, right? Love, right? A scene about Justin being inappropriate during intimacy scenes, but here's the scene. She had a thing, control over those scenes, and when a chance to praise Justin's work came, she dodged it and steered the conversation. Honestly, Blell swear. Honestly, and she's good at it. I knew exactly what it was doing. Blake's lawsuit, she said Justin would improvise and kiss her too much, but let's keep it real. There were only 2 kissing scenes before they took a break, and then when Blake came back, she suddenly had all these new demands, and on top of that, she refused to meet with the intimacy coordinator before filming started, even though Justin kind of fishy, right?
You were even the intimacy coordinator in some of your scenes, like we saw you.
That shouldn't be happening, by the way. I just want to be clear that you should not be the intimacy coordinator. You should definitely hire intimacy coordinators, which we did have. Well, thank goodness.
You were teaching Justin how to pull you in.
Where have you seen
that?
That
I actually just saw it too. Yeah, it was on Instagram yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, you know, romance is really important. We're supposed to, you know, tell a story well and make people feel, but you're also supposed to do it in a way that, is like safe and respectful for all. So yeah, I guess that's the role of intimacy coordination. But when I think of my involvement in the film, I don't really see that as the thing that I...
This could be part of the reason Colleen ended up siding with Blake. She was brought in to help finish the film after Blake took control of the editing room. But there's another reason for this too. If Colleen thought Justin's script was that good, why was Blake constantly making changes to it during filming? This whole thing doesn't add up. And trust, we'll see just how Blake and Ryan Reynolds have been trolling Justin for a while now, plus everything we've got disproves Blake's harassment claims during production. So in Blake Lively's lawsuit, she claimed Justin was improvising too much during their scenes and kissing her more than he should. But here's the thing, there were only 2 kissing scenes before production took a break. When they came back, that's when Blake started dropping all these new demands, and get this, she refused to meet with the intimacy coordinator before filming, even though Justin made sure to meet with them and follow all the proper steps. That's a red flag. This might explain why Colleen Hoover turned on Justin. Blake pulled some strings getting Colleen involved in the editing process after she snatched the film from Justin, but don't think that's the only reason Colleen sided with Blake. There's more to the story, and we'll get to that later. Here's where things get even crazier. Colleen had raved about Justin's original script, saying it was so good, so why was Blake suddenly changing all the lines on set? Something's off, right? And about those harassment claims Blake made, yeah, they don't hold up when you look at everything. There's plenty of evidence that contradicts her story, and Justin's team has been keeping track of all of it. Alright, here's the scoop after all the drama. Justin ended up casting Isabella Ferrer as young Lily in the movie, but guess what? The final decision wasn't even really his. It was actually Taylor Swift who convinced Blake that Isabella was perfect for the role.
We are just such similar people already that I actually didn't feel like I had to do that much to tap into those mannerisms.
I'm moving to South Korea, and Isabella's gonna take over my whole life now, because I realize I can just like peace, and no one will notice.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It'll just be me from
She's
now
inherited
on.
4 children, an amazing husband. It's
So
gonna be great.
So even though Justin was the one who saw Isabella's talent and cast her and pitched her take and Taylor, his role in the decision got brushed aside. Now let's talk about hazardism. N was hyping Isabella up. He was all about her acting up. Ills, and the text shows Iskills appreciated him privately but in public crickets, and when the premiere hit, Isabella went full-on team. Blake, even though she and Blake never worked together on set, Lai worked with Justin, but Blake still managed to reel her in. Blake wasn't playing around, though. She was styling around her, taking her to premieres, and even hanging out with Ryan Reynolds on the Deadpool and Wolverine sets. Blake was clearly working hard to get Isabella into her inner circle by this point. Isabella was basically ghosting Justin, and it wasn't hard to see why Blake and Colleen were running the show, and if there's a sequel, Isabella's chances of landing a role look pretty solid. Blake knows how to make moves behind the scenes and keep everyone on her side, a total strategist. Vibes, but hold up, it gets messier. Blake and Ryan were involved in shaping the movie, rewriting lines daily, something most actors don't get to do. Blake even played the underdog card with Justin, telling him how other directors had held her creativity back. Feeling bad for her, Justin let her rewrite this big rooftop scene. Blake made sure to mention that Ryan and Taylor loved her changes, putting even more pressure on Justin to go along with it. At this point, with Blake and Colleen in control, Isabella's future in a possible sequel is looking pretty secure. Blake knows how to create alliances, and Justin, well, he kind of got played in all of this. Justin was bending over backwards to keep Blake happy during production, but she was playing him from the start. It all started with her rewriting that rooftop scene. Justin liked her changes and even said he'd work some of them in, but Blake flexed her Hollywood connections, calling herself PC with Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift as her dragons. Not subtle at all, but Blake wasn't done yet. One scene wasn't enough. She wanted to rewrite the whole script. She made changes every single day, and Justin, trying to keep things smooth, went along with it. Eventually, she was questioning every scene and every decision Justin made about how to direct. Alright, here's where things really took a turn. The whole fat-shaming drama fused in fat-shaming drama. Sages just Balden's the truth behind the whole fat-shaming drama and let fat-shaming drama, not looking great, for Blake and Ryan. Apparently Ryan is Ryan. Apparently, Justin accused Blake of fat-shaming. privately asked her trainer how much she weighed now. Mind you, she weighed. Now, as Chayu icy back issues and had to lift Blake for a scene, so asking scene, wait that's Dwait, that SP work but black work, but his and ran with it claiming it, was proof that Justin was making subtle digs about her body but hebody, but here it gets messy, blamacy. He claimed that Justin put her in touch with a weight loss specialist, supposedly another way he was fat shaming her, but the texts tell a very different story. Justin actually connected her with a gut health expert because she had been on multiple rounds of antibiotics, and speaking of text, they showed Justin reassuring Blake about her body, not shaming her when she wanted to push back the body scenes because she wasn't feeling in shape yet. Justin told her she would look amazing and that they'd work around her insecurities. Meanwhile, Blake was the one joking about still having 20 pounds to go after her fourth baby, but let's go back to February 2023, when the drama really popped off during filming. Justin reached out to Blake's trainer, Don Saladino, for advice on how to safely lift her in a scene. Don sent him a workout program, and at some point, Justin privately asked about Blake's weight again, a reasonable question given the circumstances, and what happened next. The very next day, Justin was summoned to Blake and Ryan's penthouse, and as soon as he walked in, Ryan went off on him, swearing and demanding to know why he would dare ask about his wife's weight. Justin, feeling completely blindsided, apologized over and over, just trying to keep the peace. Ryan then demanded the lift scene be completely removed, and Blake straight up refused to do it, and to add even more fuel to the fire, Blake's trainer, Don, later edited an old post just last week to distance himself from Justin. He made it clear that Blake is his real client, not just Justin, and doubled down on his loyalty to her bottom line. The texts don't back up Blake's claims. If anything, they show Justin supporting her while she played up the drama behind the scenes, and now with 168 pages of emails, texts, and WhatsApp messages laid out in Justin's lawsuit, it looks like this legal war is just getting started. And speaking of that footage, Blake wanted all the raw clips. The Clipshow crew members weren't on board because, let's be real, that's not standard practice, but Justin still tried to accommodate her and gave her some of it anyway. When he finally put his foot down and said no to sending more, that's when Blake ran straight to Ryan and her lawyers with a whole new list of demands. She practically held the entire production hostage, threatening Justin's career, the movie schedule, and even testing Sony's patience. Speaking of production, there's also some footage, which we got to talk about. Now this is where things take a turn because leaked behind-the-scenes footage straight up contradicts Blake's claims of harassment. She accused Justin of acting inappropriately, sniffing her, and kissing her neck during a scene, but the raw footage tells a different story. The clips show them staying in character and even joking between takes to build on-screen chemistry at one point. Blake was the one suggesting they interact more to make the scene look more romantic. Honestly, the whole situation is starting to feel like another Amber Heard moment. Blake played the victim, twisted events and used her influence to get what she wanted while making Justin look like the villain, but when you look at the receipts, they don't exactly back up her version of events. The original scene didn't even have dialogue, it was just a romantic gesture from Justin's character, but Blake suggested adding Lynn to make it feel more intimate. Justin went along with it, and they filmed both versions. In the talking version, Versionese actually seen complimenting Blake and Ryan's real-life relationship. It cute even sharing sweet details about his own marriage. Where's the inappropriate bae behavior? The whole exchange seems professional and friendly, not what Blake described. Blake was heavily involved in every part of production and is known for her marketing skills. Somehow she even managed to convince Ryan that Justin was the bad guy in all of this. So the big question is, why would Blake, Colleen Hoover, and the rest of the cast turn against Justin when he's the one who directed the movie that made them all successful? The simplest answer is power moves and sequels. The follow-up to it, called It Starts With Us, is already in the works, while Justin owns the rights. Blake Lively has shown interest in directing it. Justin even supported the idea, calling her a powerhouse, but it looks like Blake has her own plans. She's pulled Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift, and others to her side, and naturally, the cast and writer who are loyal to her have distanced themselves from Justin. But here's the catch: Justin still holds the rights to the sequel. The only way Blake could take over is if Justin willingly stepped aside, or if a morality clause in his contract with Sony or Colleen Hoover kicked in if Justin were found guilty of harassment or caused reputational damage to the movie that could trigger a clause sending the rights back to Sony or Hoover. In that case, Blake could step in as director. NDC Corwold still profit big time from the sequel's success. It's a smart move given how massive the first film was, and of course the drama doesn't stop there. Reports say that back in September, before any legal drama even started, Ryan Reynolds tried to buy Justin out of the sequel rights. Allegedly, he offered millions knowing the movie would be a hit, but Justin turned him down. Likely because of how Ryan and Blake treated him during negotiations. Sources claimed that when Justin met them at their penthouse to discuss the sequel, things went south completely, backfiring on their plan to convince him. So if you think about it, Blake filing a harassment lawsuit could be her last-ditch effort to push Justin out and secure the director's chair for herself. According to Justin, this whole situation is heartbreaking. He remembers Blake comforting him during a tough meeting with Sony about wardrobe and casting backlash. She even reassured him, praising his talent as both an actor and director. He truly thought they were on the same side, so to see her turn on him like this, it's shocking. Now we don't have all the receipts to confirm every detail too, and of course everyone is innocent until proven guilty, but something about this situation just isn't adding up. What do you all think? Drop your thoughts in the comments.